Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who haven't seen my previous video yet, you may not know that I am a huge One Piece fan, like it's my favorite anime of all time. I have caught up with the anime and I'm now reading the manga as well, so yeah, it's really something I really love, as I am committing to reading more than 1,000 chapters now. But I'm also like a big fan of like historical stories about pirates and everything, like the pirates that existed in real life. Unsurprisingly, many of the pirates in One Piece have been inspired by real life pirates. And I thought it would be fun to like just make a series of videos talking about the characters in One Piece that have been inspired by real life pirates. And maybe like delve a little bit into their history as well, because something that really interests me. And I know a lot of videos exist like talking about which characters are inspired by which pirates, but not many of them like delve into the actual story of those pirates, and that is what I will be doing. So today is the first one, and we will be talking about none other than Big Eater Jewelry Bonney. I love her. She's the only female Supernova and also the only female in the worst generation. I don't know, I really like her. Her design is really nice, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, she's very attractive and very pretty, and she has a little bit of an attitude, so I really like that. She also has like this thing of like saying I will never forgive them, so yeah, she's a bit of a character, but I really like her. Sadly, we still don't really know what's up with her. Like, Oda uses her very sparingly, like we've seen her in Reverie. Is it Reverie or Levely? I never know which one of the two it is, but it doesn't really matter. So Reverie. But we really don't know what's going on with her or what her game is here, but yeah. So we're gonna be talking about her, and of course, since we don't know what's going to happen in the future, let's look back in history. Jewelry Bonney is inspired by a pirate named Bonny. I think a lot of people already know this. It's pretty, like, I think one of the most obvious ones in One Piece, like, that are known from characters being inspired by real historical figures. But yeah, today we are going to be delving into who was Bonny. Bonny was born as Anne Cormac around Cork Island. She was a daughter of a servant woman from a lawyer. So the lawyer had a child with his servant woman and was their like non-true-born daughter, because actually Cormac was already married to someone. Cormac moved to London with his new family, so the servant girl and Anne, and he started actually dressing up Anne as a boy and calling her Andy. He did this so he could bring up Anne to like become a lawyer's clerk. His actual wife, wound up finding out about his affair with the servant woman and about their daughter Anne. So she like was really mad about that, and it also cost him some of his clients because, well, infidelity is still like very frowned upon, you know. Anne's mother died when Anne was still very young from some kind of disease, and shortly after, William Cormac moved with Anne to the province of Carolina. William Cormac betrothed his daughter, but Anne wasn't really like agreeing with his choice for her. Ended up marrying James Bonny, so that's where her name Bonny comes from, because she married this man. Since her father did not approve of her marriage with James Bonny, he actually disowned her and kicked her out of the house, which was bad news for James because he mostly married Anne Bonny. So it's been said he was trying to marry her to get to her father's fortune because he was a wealthy lawyer. Anne Bonny was also like described as a woman with like a fiery temper. Like, it is said that she stabbed a servant girl when she was younger. She also had beaten up a attempted rapist and hospitalized a man. So yeah, she was pretty hardcore, and it's also said, like, rumored that she would have set fire to some of her father's land as a revenge for like being disowned and all that stuff. So that's a lot, like, that's pretty cool. Like, she's pretty badass, to be honest, and I wouldn't like get in her way. And then James moved to like a place called Nassau, which was known to be like a pirate refuge. Like, they were pardoned there or just like didn't do any extradition or anything, so it was basically a safe haven for pirates. There, James Bonny would end up working for a governor and actually like ratting out his fellow pirates to them, and like yeah, just basically being a bit of a tattletale. Of course, like, Anne being like part of his pirate crew somewhat, like, Anne didn't really approve of that, and actually was like in favor of like being in good favors with the pirates. Anne ended up like mingling with pirates and befriending some of them in taverns. And there she met John Rackham, which is also known as Calico Jack. They ended up falling in love, and Calico Jack actually ended up offering money to James to like divorce from Anne, because that was like common practice at the time. At first, James refused to divorce from Anne, so Anne and Calico Jack actually ended up eloping, and she became a part of his pirate crew. There was one other woman on this pirate crew, which is called Mary Read. It's said that Anne and Mary were really good friends, and even like in some rumors were said to be lovers. It is rumored that Anne like disguised herself as a man on the ship, and the only people that knew were Calico Jack and Mary Read. However, everything came to light when Anne became pregnant, because she cannot exactly hide that anymore. Calico Jack ended up leaving Anne on Cuba so she could give birth, and after she gave birth to a son, she rejoined the Calico Jack crew. It is not really known what happened to the child. The rumors are like that she either abandoned it or it was born dead or anything like something like that. The thing is, she didn't take the kid with her. She also finally managed to divorce from James Bonney and actually ended up marrying Rackham, so she is now married to Calico Jack. In 1720, the ship of Rackham's crew was attacked by some vessels under the command of the governor of Jamaica. Since the crew was very like inebriated and very drunk, they didn't really put up a fight, so they were arrested and brought to Jamaica, where they would stand trial. This was in a town named Charlestown. In Charlestown, these pirates ended up being convicted and sentenced to hanging, as piracy is still a crime. It is said that Anne Bonny, and I quote, had these words to say to Rackham when like his sentence was passed. "Had you fought like a man, you need not have been hanged like a dog." So that's very lovely from Anne there. She clearly wasn't too upset about it, that her husband would have been hanged, because, I mean, I wouldn't say that, would you? Anne and Mary were both pregnant, so they could like postpone their own like execution. Like that's apparently a rule. Like if you're pregnant, your execution will be postponed till after you give birth to your child. Mary Read ended up dying in the prison, and it's said that it probably was due to fever caused by childbirth. So that's probably why she died. Anne Bonny, however, her fate is a little bit unknown. So there are different theories of what happened to Anne Bonny. First one is that she died true to execution as planned, or she died living her life out in a prison. However, the most popular one is that she was released from the prison actually, and she just went back to Charlestown, married, got children, and lived out her life like that. This is supported by a ledger present in Charlestown, where the name Anne Bonny is like found with her date of death, which should be around 1733, was it? I think that the stone said. However, like it's not certain what actually happened to her. The thing also on the ledger, her name is written differently as we would normally would. Like we would spell Anne and Bonny, like Anne would be spelled A-N-N-E, while on the stone the E was not present in the name. I don't know why that is. I'm just throwing it out there, it's part of the theory, so yeah. So yeah, that's in short what Anne Bonny was all about. She inspired one of my favorite characters in One Piece. I love Jewelry Bonney so much. This is actually the first One Piece figurine I ever bought, so you can tell I really like Jewelry Bonney. Yeah, I think it's interesting, and Anne Bonny is such an interesting figure because there weren't many female pirates, let alone with records of their existence. This is mostly due to the fact that men used to believe that women brought bad luck, so they wouldn't let them on the ship. But yeah, that's everything I got for you today. I hope you liked this. I found it interesting to delve into what inspired Anne Bonny, or well, Jewelry Bonney. Let me know in the comments below if you liked this video and if I should do more of these. I have a few others planned, but if there's one that you would love me to do like first, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye!